my god, this is the very jacket that I've been waiting for ages. Do you finally have it in stock?
Hi, let me check it for you. Oh man, I'm sorry. Looks like this item hasn't been in stock for weeks. Can you give me your contact information so that I can contact you once it arrives?
Oh my god, what are you guys doing? I've been waiting for it forever. How can you not have it in stock yet?
Sorry, miss.
Oh,
How exactly do I sell these items?
Ew, who even buys this? So ugly, yeah. Wait, don't we still have hundreds and thousands of these ugly jackets in stock?
I don't know. I just ordered because I thought there was no more.
What are you doing? Why are you overstocking trash while our best sellers run out so quickly?
Inventory management is a balancing act. Order too little and you face stockouts and lost sales. Order too much and you tie up valuable cash in excess inventory. But what if we could use data to take the guesswork out of inventory decisions? By leveraging statistical analyses, confidence intervals, and standard deviation, businesses can accurately predict demand fluctuations and set optimal reorder points. First, let's talk about confidence intervals. Confidence intervals allows businesses to quantify uncertainty and estimate the range within which demand or lag time is likely to fall. This helps determine worst-case scenarios, ensuring that stock levels can handle unexpected fluctuations. Standard deviation is critical in inventory management. Standard deviation measures the variability in demand and lag time. The greater the standard deviation, the more unpredictable our inventory needs become. This is where safety stock comes into play, acting as a buffer against unexpected demand spikes or supplier delays. Without safety stock, there is great risk of stockouts, causing delays and dissatisfied customers.
Here are the steps that we're going to take to calculate the reorder point. So firstly, it will be to simulate both the demand and the lead time. Then we're going to try to calculate the confidence interval of the mean demand. So first we calculate the demand sample mean, and then we're going to calculate the unbiased estimate of the demand sample standard deviation, because since we do not know about the demand population mean and standard deviation, we're going to do a t-test and would need to account for n-1 degrees of freedom. Then we're going to calculate the length of the confidence interval. And from there, we're going to calculate the sample size required based on the length of the confidence interval. So the calculation is, because the length of a confidence interval is 2 times the critical t critical value multiplied by the standard deviation divided by square root of n. So if we shift the n forward and make it the subject, we're going to get 2 times the t critical value multiplied by the standard deviation over the length of the confidence interval, and we square the whole function. Next, we're going to sample the samples of the sample size required from the demand, and we're going to calculate the means of each sample, and then we're going to construct a confidence interval based on the distribution of the means of each sample. Then after that, we're going to repeat this process for the lead time, and then we're going to take the upper limit of both for the confidence interval of both the demand and the lead time and multiply them together to get the reorder point. So now we're just going to implement our steps that we have showed you earlier. So basically, we're first going to set the seed so that we get a constant number for when we're simulating the demand and the lead time. And then after that, we're just going to calculate the demand sample mean as well as the unbiased estimate of the demand sample standard deviation. And then we're going to calculate the length of the interval. So basically the length of the confidence interval for the demand as well as the sample size required. And then we're going to initiate this data for the demand as a list. And we're going to take samples from the demand and store it within the data demand. Next, we're going to initiate a demand sample means vector, and we're going to store all of the demand, the samples mean into this vector. And then after that, we're going to, as you can see here, we can see the histogram of the demand sample means. So after that, we're going to calculate the upper limit of the demand, and it will give us that number. And we're going to repeat this process for the confidence interval for the lead time. And we would get this. So now we're going to get the reorder point, and which is 350.3072. And we're going to round it up because stock does not come with like decimal places. So we go round it up into 351.
Now that we understand the statistical foundations, let's talk about how businesses can interpret the reorder point, which is the value generated by the code, after all the relevant variables are inputted into the code. Using the dummy values that we have inputted into the code, the reorder point is 350.3072. This means that once inventory has been reduced to 350, the business should place an order. Therefore, they can meet the demand while waiting for new stock to come in, without having to worry about running out of the current stock. Therefore, this code helps companies make strategic adjustments. If the reorder point is too high, they might be putting excess inventory and tying up cash flow. If it's too low, they risk stockouts and lose sales. By running this analysis regularly, businesses can adapt their inventory strategy based on real-time data, keeping stock levels optimal at all times. Businesses that implement this method gain several key advantages. First, they reduce stockouts, ensuring products are always available and customer satisfaction remains high. Second, they minimize overstocking, cutting down on excess inventory and storage costs. Finally, by leveraging data-driven insights, they can dynamically adjust reorder points as demand patterns and supply chain conditions change. Ultimately, this statistical approach empowers businesses to make informed inventory decisions with confidence. Instead of relying on gut feeling or outdated rules of thumb, companies can use data to drive efficiency, save costs, and improve customer satisfaction.
So, have you learned it? By using statistics, we can predict the demand and order the inventory smartly.
So no more ugly jacket disasters?
Exactly, just smart inventory management.
Yes, it's finally here.
Oh my god, finally no more ugly jacket parts. We only have our best sellers in stock. Feels good, man.
That's right.
That's right. With our solution, don't be afraid to get the right stock at the right time.